Hey, what's going, guys? Welcome back to Lunar Beaches Crypto. This is David. I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys on the Bitcoin price chart, taking a look at the 4-hourly. And I had somebody, I guess, in the community ask if I could do a video on swing trading. What is swing trading? So essentially, just as basic as I can get it, swing trading is exactly what it is. So what you're doing is you are trading the swings in price action. So you are trading from like here to down here to up here. These are swings in price action. And the way you identify these swings is as such. So we're going to start from right here. So we come up, we create this high, okay? Then we come down, we create this low. This low is higher than this low, so that's a higher low, right? Then we come up off of it. We come up and we break this structure right here. So we break the top of this, we break the previous top. So what that has done is that has solidified this right here as being the swing low. And this is a swing high. Okay, so once you come up here, you break that level. Now you have a swing low. You come down, don't create a new high, start coming up. Now you're trying to break this high. You come up here, now that's a swing high, come down, swing low, because you're still creating higher lows and higher highs. So these are all swings, swing pivots. Some people call them pivots. Now, the question is, that I was asked, is how do you know when to enter? Well, there's indicators, of course. So you have your stochastics and your RSI, right? So you can see prices come up, it's created a high, it's come down, it's created a low, and now it's moving back up. Now on this low, the RSI is oversold and your stochastics are oversold. And then they start to move up as price action is starting to move up. So when you see something like that in a large move like this, first thing really that you want to do is you want to take a look at this structure right here. So we take a look at this structure right here. We get all this stuff out of the way. And let's go down to the lower time frames. We're going to take a look at the 1 hour to start it off. Now I got to get back to where I was. There we go. So we're going to take a look at the 1 hour. All right, so on the 1 hour, I can already see what resembles a head and shoulders in here. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little bit, you can kind of see it in there. So that's kind of like a head and shoulders pattern, which suggests that this downward move is in a reversal and it's starting to move up. You also have, let's see, we could also look for divergences on the lower time frames. So let's see if we have any. And we do. I can already see one. So on the RSI, so you have price coming down and you have RSI coming up. That's a bullish divergence. And this was also a capitulative type of wick. Those typically are the ending phases of downward action. Now, something else that you can do is trend lines. And this is going to be really important. So pay attention. So when it comes to trend lines, and it comes to them, when it comes to coming up against resistance in a downtrend, that is what you are looking for. Now on this one, I went with these candles here. Instead of the very top, I went with these candles here, simply because you just kept coming up and bumping your head up against it all the way down, right? So if we go from here to here, then we've already established, and then up to here, then we've already established this as a swing low. So we got to make sure that we don't fall below this low. And then next thing we do, we break out of this downward trend, we pull back, and then we continue on. Now, once that gets broken, that's not financial advice. That's a good time to enter your swing trade. Then the next thing you do is you wait for it to come up, assuming it's going to break this high right here. And you just follow your indicators, make sure they're not getting too out of whack. Your RSI is still above the 50 all the way up. Okay, so your RSI is still above the 50. Now, once you come down here and you touch this level again, and then you bounce, and then you stall out, then maybe you want to take out right there. Maybe you want to exit the trade up there, or as close to it as possible, especially if you get a bounce. If you break through it, you can wait for the pullback and then get out. But you need to take some profits or pay yourself, because you're swing trading, and these are long, drawn-out trades. Typically use the 4-hour for swing trading. If I can figure out where I'm at right here. Yeah, so entering that swing trade up on this breakout right here would have been from to the very top. That's a 5-day and 20-hour trade. So more than likely, what you maybe could do, I'm not going to say you should do, but what you could do is wait for that bounce, come up, crack that, make your entry, come up, and do just a 2-to-1. Just do a 2-to-1 entry. A lot of traders do 2-to-1 because it's very simple. And yeah. Now for me, I would be placing, so you do your 2-to-1 based off your stop loss. That's my bad. So my stop loss would be this swing low within this whole move here. So we get a swing low here because we broke this trend, or because we broke this high right here, right? So we pulled back and we came up. This is now a swing low because we've broken this. Now, a lot of times you would wait for another pullback before you enter. So we'll go from there, and then you go to your most recent swing low, and you put that stop loss in just below it. Just below it. Just a hair. And then you take yourself up to 2-to-1. Right there. Close enough. 2.01. And look, if you would have entered that trade there, yeah, you had some bounces in here, but you never broke the 50 on the RSI. You shot up, hit your target. You're already out. Yeah, it goes on, keeps on going, but who cares? You already got your profit. This move, 10.26%, just 10% leverage on that, and that's a 100% move. And this trade took all of, let's see, we entered on the pullback right here, right? And then we get that green candle close all the way to the top. Now this is you essentially, you cut more than half of the original, or you cut more, yeah, sorry, you cut more of the original trade, more than half of the original trade. There, yeah, I don't know why that was so difficult to say. It's like my brain glitched. But yeah, so that's swing trading basically in a nutshell. And then you could come up here, and if you wanted to short it, let's go ahead and just remove these drawings. If you wanted to short it, you could say, all right, I've got 2 taps on it coming up like this. So you got 1 tap here, 2 taps. then you break this line, swing high, come back up, hit your downward trend line, right? Hit your downward trend line. That's another thing we could have done down here, probably. You hit your I forgot the trend line. You hit your downward trend line, and you once it starts to come down, just enter that short. Throw in where is it? Long or nope, not long position. Short position. Come up here. We're gonna say we got in right here. Your swing high is up here, so we want to go a little bit above it. And then we want a 2-to-1 ratio. And look at that. Right before it bottoms out. Right there. So, and that one is a 8% trade. So, and it took how long? Let's see. From here, where did it hit? It hit right here. It actually wicked down right into take profit. So it took a day and 4 hours. So, of course, on swing trades, I recommend, not financial advice, but just through experience, lower leverage on the swing trades. You don't want to go high on the leverage on swing trades. Like 10 or lower, maybe, possibly. But yeah, so before I started recording this video, I was already mapping this whole thing out. Sorry to jump around, but I just need to move on to the next thing. And you can just see how this thing just keeps on playing with these trend lines. So what I'm thinking is that maybe Bitcoin sees another move up, which just so happens to be right here. What? That's not the right one. That's not the right one either. That's not the right one. So it comes up to right here, right? Where we had previous support and then we fell through it. And now we could come up and test it for resistance before getting rejected again. And then maybe we come all the way down here, double bottom, if we go on a bigger time frame, but I'll show you. Double bottom, somewhere in here. We got that low there, so we'll go there. Double bottom somewhere in there, and then start working our way back up. And I think it's going to be something like this for a while. I think we we could just be stuck just doing this kind of stuff like for a long time. People will think, "Oh no, this is a head and shoulders," and then no, it's going to come up and then it's just going to Batman all the way down. So yeah. That is my general thesis on Bitcoin right now. On a longer term move, I'd be looking at probably 20.8 to maybe short. That's just me. And yeah, so with one more thing, I know I'm coming back. I want to come back to these trend lines. So you see, we constantly butt up against them, but then once we break them and come down and retest them, we move back up. Same thing here. Boom, come up, retest, move up. Boom, 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 bounce your head off, move up. Now, something that I just remembered that I wanted to show you because I found it in the charts. So this could be a possibility. Act like this was never here, okay? But I noticed some similar structures in here. So I just wanted to take a look at them and see how much they lined up and how much I could get them to line up. So if we're not going to come down and set a new low, this is a possible breakout scenario for a higher move. Back up into this range over here. Now I want to get this lined up. I want this right here. It's so confusing. Up is down and down is up. I swear. That's one thing about fractals that I do not care for. All right. Almost got it. There we go. I think it's close enough. But anyway, I did that, and then I was like, okay, let me throw a Fibonacci on here from swing low to swing high. Now, see, this is off. Earlier, this thing came right up to the 702 like that. Yeah, so it's much closer to this, I believe, because we could definitely see some resistance, definitely at this level here. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on there, especially more recently, more locally, and then also up in here where you have all this action going on. We have price coming down here to it, and then you have price falling through that level over here. So, and then also stopping out right here. So these have just been contentious levels. It's really just one big level, one big range. But yeah, I could see this as a possibility coming up, retrace into the 702 before meeting heavy resistance. And let's go ahead and throw on the VRVP before we get out of here for this video. Yeah, right here. So you have a high volume node. This is your value area high. Yeah, so I mean, that just makes sense. Probably maybe just to the golden pocket, maybe. So I guess we will just have to wait and see. Next move up would take us up to the point of control if it was to come up there. I would probably be concerned, or not concerned, but cautious of a possible pullback from that point, and then maybe continuing that move up and then bounce off of it. And then, so the structure I think would look more, more like this than it would that other structure. But I just found it interesting that it had the same kind of V shape coming on up out of here. But that could push, give us what we need to make that move up before ultimately coming back down. Maybe. Well, we'll have to wait and see how the Stokes look and all that stuff. So we can ride up here on the stochastics for a little while, enough to get us up here. Maybe even have some pit stops along the way, but then it would eventually come down. And then we're also coming off of oversold this is on the 4 hour too. So let's also go ahead and zoom out real quick. Let's go to the daily, see what we're looking at on the daily. Get rid of this VRVP. So we can see that this still went lower. So not too much of a bullish divergence, not really a bullish divergence anyway, because they're both trending down. So, and right now, RSI is getting rejected at the 14 moving average. So it could come back down. Now I would be looking for a possible third bounce. So come down, maybe even just today. We come down and we bounce off. A third bounce off of an RSI is typically really strong. Stokes could come down a little bit too with it, right? And then you could make a good bounce off of there. But again, we're both coming down on the RSI. So I don't know how much weight that has to it, but I definitely know that this is the trend line that must be broken. Even more so on the 4 hour. I mean, it's the same essentially the same. I think it's a little more room on the 4 hour. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. I was gonna make it short, but it's been 20 minutes, so those are just some general thoughts. And I was asked about the swing trading and all that. So if you have any further questions, just leave them in the comment section down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to be notified for when I create new content and when I go live. Until next time, I'll see you out. I'll see you later. Every single time I have these really awkward